Your success as a musician, as a singer, as a creative in the music industry is not based on any outside entities. It is based upon your ability to cultivate the innate gifts, talents, and abilities that are already on the inside of you. All right, so what's up, everybody? I'm EJ, the musical dating coach. I believe music is a medicine. I believe that God is the ingredient, and I believe that I've certainly been empowered to write the prescription. I teach artistic communication through the avenues of music, motivation, and spirituality. I'm also the author of the new book called The Dating Game: How to Effectively Reach Your Audience. Now that we got that done, let's get into it. Listen, I don't know one singer, I don't know one band, I don't know one musician, I don't know one creative for that matter, who has never said to themselves, I am sick of this. When is it going to be my turn? When am I going to get my big break? How come nobody's supporting me? How come I'm being ignored? I mean, and you go through all of the emotions. One week you love music. You want to be a part of it. You're so excited about what you've been given. On the other hand, the next week you're through with it. You don't want anything to do with music. You hate music. You hate music artists. You just hate everything about it. And I think all creators have gone through that bipolar moment where you just like, I just don't want anything else to do with this. It causes me too much heartache. It causes me too much toil. And truth be told, you should never give up on the gift that God has given you. God gave you that gift, and he gave you that gift for a purpose so that you could be a blessing to somebody else. Listen, you might have 10 people that don't like what you bring to the table, and you might have one person that is just in love, head over heels in love with your gift and what you bring to the table, and they will introduce you to somebody that will change your life. It will change the course of your musical career. So it is important for you not to give up. And I'm going to give you today 5 tips on how to be successful in the music industry as a band, as a singer, as a musician, as a creative, whatever it is that you do. I want to give you 5 tips on how to be successful doing it. All right, let's get into it. Let's do it. All right, so let's get it. So look, so number one thing that I want to tell you today. You ready? Somebody need to get a pen or paper or something. Write this down. Like, just don't have me talking for nothing. Listen, so number 1, how to be successful in the music industry as a band, singer, musician. Number 1, don't compare your beginning with someone else's middle. That's good already. Like, y'all should be jumping out of the seats right there already. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. I can't tell you how many times, even myself, creatives go online, you go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, and you look at all these great and wonderful artists. You look at all these people, all these bands who are making it, and the crowds are going crazy, and they have all of these subscribers, and they have all of these followers, and when they go live, they have thousands of people on their live videos, and you say to yourself, oh my God, why can't that be me? Like, maybe we don't have what it takes. Maybe what we bring to the table is not good enough because we don't have all of those followers and we don't have all of those subscribers and there aren't thousands of people on our live when we go live and we don't get a whole bunch of likes on our videos, and you begin to compare yourself. But what you have to realize is those individuals started somewhere. They didn't start out with 1,000 followers. They didn't start out with thousands of subscribers. They didn't start out with everybody liking their videos. They started someplace. And so what's important is that you don't become engulfed in what you see on social media. Because can I please tell you this, that a lot of times the numbers and a lot of things you see on social media really are fabricated, to be honest with you. I mean, let's really get down to the nitty gritty. People can buy subscribers. People can buy followers. Come on. What you want to do is focus on that thing that's on the inside of you. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. There's a scripture that says, despise not the day of small beginnings. I had a dream a couple of weeks ago, and in that dream, God was showing me about a baby and how a baby is born. It starts off small and you have to cultivate that baby, and that baby drools and it pees on itself. It defecates on itself, but it has to grow, and you nurture that baby and you teach that baby. But you don't look at the 15-year-old and say, why isn't my baby like the 15-year-old? Well, it's the same thing with your musical gifts and what you bring to the table as an artist, as a musician, as a singer. You have to cultivate your gifts. right? And while you're cultivating your gifts, you have to be authentic with who you are. Listen, there are a lot of artists that I love. There are so many artists that I am just awed by. Like, I love their music. I love what they bring to the table. You have artists like, I love Stevie Wonder. I love John Legend. Come on. I love Nat King Cole. The list goes on. There's a new artist that I've been on lately. His name is Toby something, but I love their music. However, that's not who I am. I have to be the best version of myself. I have to present the best version of who I am. And by doing that, people are drawn to your authenticity. They are drawn to what you bring to the table. How many times have you downed yourself or looked down on yourself because you weren't like somebody else? And listen, it's not just in music. I mean, some of us look down on ourselves because we don't think we look as good as somebody else. We don't have as big as muscles as somebody else has, or we don't drive the kind of car that somebody else has, or we don't live in the kind of neighborhood that somebody else lives in. When the truth of the matter is, your journey is your journey, and you have to be good with where you are. You have to celebrate the small wins. Don't allow the fact that you don't have what they have to discourage you from moving forward with what you've been given. No. Your job is to be the best steward over what you have. You can't be the steward over the other man, but you can be the steward over what you have. And when you are studious over what has been given to you, when you are a good steward, you will see manifestations of positivity around what you are called to do. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Oh, you don't believe what I'm saying. Oh, you don't believe me. Oh, you don't believe what I'm saying? If you don't believe what I'm saying, maybe Erykah Badu can say it better. Check it out.
And what I want to say to artists, or say to music, period, it's all vibration. It's all frequency, And when you freaking, make sure it's your freak you freaking and not somebody else's freak, And I think that's the most important thing, being true to who you are, being true to yourself. I don't understand the theory of music. I have to only assume that it was based on something I did many lifetimes ago.
All right, number 2, practice and embrace the process. But let me say this part again, practice. Let me say it one more time, practice. Let me say it one more time, practice. Practice and enjoy the process. Let's take a listen to what Ray Charles says about rehearsing and practicing as a musician. Let's take a look at it.
And above all, practice. I know that's a dirty word.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
But I'm telling you,
yes,
babe, every great musician I know, practice.
Yes.
I don't care. Oscar Peterson is one of the best around.
Yes, he is.
He can't walk past a piano and don't do something to it. You see?
Yes.
So that would be the main. Because, kids got so much diversity nowadays. They go to ball games, they go to this. They got this computer they sit on all day long,
yes,
which does drag. But I'm not saying not to do these things, but allocate at least 1 hour a day, at least, to do nothing but practice for yourself.
I thought that was so phenomenal, and I'm going to come back. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe and hit that little notification bell so that you will know when I'm doing what? Making a video. All right, so check this out. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a video about how you should practice and rehearse, because there is a method to it that could kind of better your rehearsals and get you to retain information a little better. But that video is coming up a little later, so make sure that you subscribe. There's this concept that Malcolm Gladwell talks about called 10,000 hours, right? And just like how Ray Charles was explaining to us that you have to rehearse, you have to put that time in and rehearse and practice. You have to do it at least 1 hour a day. Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hour rule. And basically what it means is like, most people aren't successful until they have put 10,000 hours in at practicing and cultivating their gifts, talents, and abilities. Now, don't get hung up on the 10,000 hours, because that's basically just kind of figurative. He's just using that as an example. But what he's really saying is take time to hone your craft. Take time to spend time with it and see what makes you tick. Like spend time with your gift. Be intimate with your gift. Take that time to do that. And don't be ashamed of the process. Like, embrace the process. I oftentimes think of the Beatles. The Beatles, before the British invasion and they came over here, the Beatles were a house band at a strip club. They played 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let me say that one more time. The Beatles, before the British invasion, were a house band in a strip club. They played 7 days a week, 8 hours a day. All right. So what I'm saying is everybody starts somewhere and you have to embrace your process. Listen, you're not going to come out of the gate being successful at everything. You're not going to come out of the gate with every performance being wonderful. I mean, even the best top performers have messed up and made mistakes during performances. The biggest one is when they fall, like Beyonce fell during her performance. I think Michael Jackson, Kurt Franklin, like all these people have made mistakes. You're never going to be perfect.
You're never going to be perfect.
Cut it out. All right. You're not going to be perfect. You have to embrace and enjoy the process. I can't tell you how many times, listen, I have been on stage and I have bombed. How many times my voice has been gone? I have bombed. Now, what gets you over is the spirit and the attitude of what you bring to the table. Your attitude about what has happened. Listen, back in last year, my group and I, we went to the Apollo. I had no voice. We spent 3 weeks at the Apollo and I had no voice. Had voice all year long. And when it was time to go to the Apollo, I had no voice. Now we made it through. We got through top 3. But I had no voice. I had to persevere. Now, was I a little sad because I didn't have the best of voice? Yes, I was. But did I let that stop me from enjoying the process and taking in and soaking in that experience? Absolutely not. Don't allow your ups, downs, your failures to stop you from enjoying the process. It's a process. You're going to be laughed at. You're going to be picked at. Some of the things that you're going to try are going to be absolutely obnoxious. It's not going to make any sense at all. Nobody's going to know what in the world you're doing. It's okay. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the time that you have doing what you do. Remember, I just said, despise not those days of the small beginnings. It's a small beginning. Don't worry about it. The sound is not always going to be right. Sometimes you're going to wear a uniform and it's going to look a hot mess. Sometimes you're going to try a song and it's not going to go over well with the crowd. You're going to record a song and people are not going to buy it. It's okay. Enjoy the process. You are not going to be overnight success. And a lot of people who are overnight successes, they're just that. Overnight successes. And as quick as they became successful, as quick as they come down. Because see, people are, let me tell you something. People are some strange folks. They'll clap for you, Hosanna one day, and they'll holler crucified the next day. So you have to just be true to who you are and enjoy the process. Don't take yourself so seriously. I used to take myself so seriously. Like when I mess up or something didn't go right, like I would be mad. I would be down for weeks at a time. Just upset for weeks at a time. Don't allow it to happen. Keep going. Keep focusing on it. Keep focusing on the end goal. All right. And here's number 3. Number 3. Everybody put 3 in the comments. Number 3. Number 3 is position yourself. Let's take a look at this, another clip from Ray Charles as he talks about positioning yourself and your brand. Take a look at it.
When I listen to a lot of this stuff today, I hear so many of these kids. They sound so much the same, you know.
Yes.
I mean, you had identity when I was coming up. If Ella Fitzgerald opened her mouth and sang one word,
Yes.
you knew that was Ella Fitzgerald.
That's right.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
You knew that was Nat Cole. You knew that was Frank Sinatra, or you knew that was Barbra Streisand. See, but today, well, for me, and I know I hear good. I know
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
So, but I would say to any young artist coming up, if you have faith in yourself, if you know what you're doing is good, and how do you know that? You can compare it with what you hear that's out there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And is it unique? Does it have enough of its own say? If you believe in yourself, don't be discouraged. Don't let nobody discourage you. Keep on keeping on, as we
Yes.
say. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't let somebody turn your but you got to believe in yourself.
Okay, so let's talk about positioning yourself. All right, what is your brand about and what do you offer? Who is your target audience? What is your value proposition? Let's talk about all three of those things right there, wrapped up in one. All right, number one, what is your brand and what do you offer? Now, we'll get into another video talking about branding and all those type of things, but just in a nutshell, what is your brand? What do you offer? A part of our brand is that we represent healing through music as it relates to what I do with my music and my band. We represent healing through music. So everything we do has to reflect our brand. All right. That's the kind of brand of music that we cultivate. We don't do music that degrades women. We don't do music that teaches you to hate yourself. We do music that is positive, that it brings healing, that it enlightens the individual who listens to it. All right. Who is your target audience? People who say my music is for everybody. That is not true. Now, music is transcendent and it can reach many people. But the truth of the matter is there is a group of people, a tribe. Okay, tribe. I'm gonna do a video about tribes. There is a tribe of people who are assigned to what you bring to the table. And your job is to find out who your target audience is. Who does your music speak to the most? And you're going to have to learn that through trial and error and trying different things. But it's important that you find out who your target audience is. Basically, who are you trying to reach? What individual are you trying to reach with your music? Last thing, your value proposition. This is all part of number 3. Your value proposition. Why should people do business with you? Now, listen, it could be 30 other people doing the same thing that you're doing, right? And many people say, well, I don't want to do that because they're doing that same thing. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to seem like I'm copying them or whatever. It doesn't matter. Listen, if it's in you to do it, then you need to do it, right? But what you have to keep in mind is always be able to differentiate yourself. What is your difference? What is the difference that you bring to the table, right? What is your difference? Part of our difference in my band, and what, if you look on the wall, you'll see my band. Part of the difference of what we do is that when we approach, every time we get on the stage, I always introduce us, and I open the concert by saying, music is a medicine. God is the ingredient. I write the prescription. Don't steal it because I already got it copyrighted. Don't you do it. I see you. I saw your wheels turning. I dare you. Don't you steal it. But listen, I always say music is a medicine. God is the ingredient, and we write the prescription, right? So while we're on stage, I refer to everybody who's on the stage with me as a doctor. We're doctors. Of course, we're not medical doctors, but we're doctors. We're spiritual doctors, because every time we get on the stage, when we approach a song, our goal is to reach the person in the audience. Now, of course, you're not going to reach everybody because everybody's not your ideal audience, right? Everybody's not your target audience. But those who we are called to and assigned to, we want that woman who is going home in an abusive relationship to be strengthened through what we sing, to be strengthened and encouraged, right? We want that guy who's been going out looking for a job and can't find one to support his family, and he's stressed out and he wants to give up. We want to minister healing to him through music. We want to administer healing to those who are working on jobs that they absolutely hate, but they have to do what they have to do in this season. We want them to leave lifted. So every time we get on the stage, we approach our music, we approach what we do a certain way. Why should somebody book you? Why should somebody pick up the phone, call you, book you, and pay you what you say you're worth? Why should somebody bring you in and buy you a hotel room? Why should somebody bring you in and make sure you have food and everything to eat? Why should they treat you a certain way? Why? What makes you different? What makes you different than the other 30 bands in your area? What makes you different? If you can't answer that question, you can't demand anything. But once you can articulate what your difference is, people will gravitate to it and they'll have a better understanding. People don't know. You think that people automatically know I got a good song and I should buy that song because that's just a good song. They don't know that. People need to have a reason. People are motivated by causes. What is your cause? What is the reason why you do what you do? You ever been to a concert, or have you ever performed? Because I'm talking to creatives. And you get up to perform, and the audience is into the music, and the audience is singing, and you just really thought you did a jam up job, and you say at the end of it, go out to my CD table, we've got CDs, and you go out to your CD table and you sell 2 CDs. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, because people are attached to causes. They are attached to causes. They want to know what you're all about. All right. So what's your value proposition? Who's your target audience? What is your brand, and what are you all about? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself. That was number 3. Number 4. Number 4 is all about learning the best practices. What do I mean? Basically, I'm just trying to tell you to educate yourself. You got to educate yourself. There is no way that you can say you want to be in this music industry and you're not learning about the industry. You're not reading any books. You don't know about contracts. You're not reading about what's going on in the industry. You're not educating yourself. And listen, don't say I don't have the money to go to. Listen, I know you should attend conferences. You should attend webinars. But listen, you got Google. There's nothing wrong with you going to Amazon and buying books. There's nothing wrong with you going to the Goodwill and sifting through books and seeing if they have it. You see what I'm saying? Stop making excuses. If you're serious and you say that this is what you want to do, then it's time for you to put forth the effort. It's time for you to take the time to learn and educate yourself. Learn what the best practices are. If you are a quartet group, a gospel quartet group, what are the trends going on right now with gospel quartet groups? If you're a praise and worship singer, what are the trends? If you're in the rock field, if you're in the R&B field, what are the trends? What's going on? Not saying that you have to be like everybody else, but you need to know, you need to be educated. Are you signed up with BMI ASCAP? Come on, performance rights organizations. Is your music copyrighted? When you do a CD, is it properly tagged? Come on. Your website, is your website set up in a way where when people come, it's clear to them what you do. It's clear to them how they can book you to do it. Come on. All these things. Educate yourself. Is your Facebook page set up the right way? Is your YouTube page set up the right way? Are all your stuff in a row? If somebody comes to you right now and say, I want to book your band to appear at our festival, are you aware of some of the things that you're going to have in place? Some of the things you're going to need in your contract to protect yourself? How you can capitalize on that opportunity? Or are you just happy with singing? Are you just happy with being in front of people? And nothing is wrong with that, because that might be your idea of success. But if your idea of success is bigger than that, then you're going to have to educate yourself in that area. And so many creatives lean on the fact that we're just creative and I just want to sing and I'm just happy to be sharing my gift with the world. No, there's nothing wrong with sharing your gift with the world, but you must educate yourself. Learn what. Number 5 is keep performing. Keep performing. Don't stop. Don't quit. Keep performing. Your band, your music, your career, it will work if you work it. Let me say that again. It will work if you work it. You've got to work it. And listen, faith without works is dead. You got to keep grinding and you got to keep doing it. Listen, sing, play every chance you get. Act every chance you get. Whatever it is, whatever your creative juices are, keep doing it. Keep performing it, because the more you do it, the better you're going to get. The more you do it, the more you're going to find out about yourself and how you connect with that gift and what that gift is inside of you and how you are able to manipulate that gift. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep doing it. Everything. Listen, when you were a little kid, when you were a baby, your parents tried to teach you to walk, and you started crawling. And really, when you was crawling, you was dragging one leg and scooting the other one. And then you started crawling good. You were so excited. You was crawling all over the house. Steady crawling, steady crawling, steady crawling, steady crawling. Then you grabbed a hold to the side of the table and you started standing up on the side of the table. Start bouncing on the side of the table. Then you started easing. Oh, wait a minute. I can ease around the side of the table now. Then one day you decided to let go, and you ran. You got out there and you let go, and you was walking. Then you realized you was walking. You dropped down because you got scared. And then somebody said, come on now, get back up now. Get back up. And you got back up, and you started back walking again. You kept on walking. Just kept on walking. And eventually you learned how to walk. And you learned how to walk because somebody was standing there saying, come on now, you can do it. That's what I'm doing today. I'm telling you today, come on now, you can do it. You got this. Don't give up. Don't let go. Don't turn around. Don't look at that next man and think, well, because you're not like him that you need to stop. No, no, no. Keep on doing it. Keep on performing. Okay, you had a bad performance. That's okay. Come on now. I know you had a bad performance. Come on now. I know your voice was gone, but come on now. I know you messed up that line, but come on now. I know you hit the wrong notes, but come on now. Let's keep on going. Because when you keep going, when you persevere through it, then what's going to happen is you're going to look back a year. You'll be like, oh my God, I've come so far. 2 years, oh my God, I've come so far. And guess what? Not only are you going to recognize it, you're not the only one that's going to recognize it. But there are going to be people that God is going to strategically put in place that are going to be able to, that are paying attention. Listen, whether you know it or not, there are people paying attention to you right now. There are people watching you right now. And all it takes is for you to be in place, and God takes his hand and he taps that individual and says, nah, I want you to open that door for them. You see? But if you give up, if you throw in the towel now, then you will never be successful. You will never walk into that door that you was intended to walk into. Do you know how many people have been rejected for years and years and years and get that one big break and their life takes off? You can't afford to stop now. If you want to be successful in music, it's not about, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting gold albums and getting Grammys and all that. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great for somebody to acknowledge what you have done. But at the end of the day, your success comes when you become the best version of yourself by giving to others. Let me say that again. You become the best version of yourself by giving of yourself to somebody else. And God, when he created you, he took his creativity and he poured it inside of you, inside of your spirit. And every day, as you keep cultivating it, it wakes up. And your spirit and your soul is reminded of what was given to you. Don't let the outside entities force you to forfeit what was given to you. See, because your gift will make room and it'll bring you before great men. But it can't do that if you let it go. It can't do that if you don't stand firm. Listen, I just started this YouTube channel. Well, I started it back in February, but I just really started working with it maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, posting videos. And I have another YouTube channel and it's okay. It's not, I don't have that many subscribers on that one. But for some reason in this season, it's like the creator is telling me, focus on this right here, right now. Build this, build it. Right now, while I'm talking to you, I have 3 subscribers. 3. That's it. 3 subscribers. Am I going to let that stop me from making videos? No. I'm going to keep on making videos. You know why? Because it might not be until I get to video 70 that it takes off and somebody takes this information and finds it valuable. The reality is my very first video on the channel is valuable. But sometimes you have to go through a test. Are you willing to stick with what you've been called to do until it happens? Truth is, it's happening right now. See, it's happening based on your attitude. So when they see video 70 and it takes off, it was because of my attitude when I was making video 4 and I only had 30 people watch it. Y'all better listen to what I'm saying. Creatives better create. I'm going to go ahead and get off this thing because I'll be going into another video. But check this out. I want you to do this before you leave. Do me a favor. If this has been good to you, if I've said any tips, given you anything that makes you want to go further as a creative, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to this video, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload or if I go live. Do me a favor. Do that for me. If it's helped you. If it's helped you. Once again, I'm EJ, the musical dating coach. I believe music is a medicine. I believe God is the ingredient. I write the prescription, baby. Peace. Pip, pip.